Passport to Magonia. From Folklore to Flying Saucers. Jacques, Vallee, 1969. Since these rumors have been puzzling to many authorities in the Roman Catholic Church, perhaps it is appropriate to begin with a quotation from the life of St. Anthony, the Egyptian-born founder of Christian monasticism, who lived at about 300 AD. In the desert, St. Anthony met with a strange being of small stature, who fled after a brief conversation with him. Begin quote. Before long, in the small rocky valley, shut in on all sides, sees a mannequin with hooded snout, horned forehead, and extremities like goat's feet. When he saw this, Anthony, like a good soldier, seized the shield of faith and the helmet of hope. The creature nonetheless began to offer him the fruit of the palm tree to support him on his journey as if it were pledges of peace. Anthony, perceiving this, stopped and asked who he was. The answer he received from him was this: "I am a mortal being and one of the inhabitants of the desert, whom the Gentiles, deluded by various forms of error, worship under their names of fauns, satyrs, and incubi. I am sent to represent my tribe. We pray you in our behalf to entreat the favor of your Lord, and ours, who, we have learnt, came once to save the world, and whose sound has gone forth into all the earth." As he uttered such words as these, the aged traveler's cheeks streamed with tears, the marks of his deep feeling, which he shed in the fullness of his joy. He rejoiced over the glory of Christ and destruction of Satan, and marveling all the while that he could understand the Satyr's language, and striking the ground with his staff, he said, "Woe to thee, Alexandria, who instead of God worshipest monsters! Woe to thee, harlot city, into which have flowed together the demons of the whole world! What will you say now? Beasts speak of Christ, and you instead worship monsters as your God?" He had not finished speaking when, as if on wings, the wild creature fled away. Let no one scruple to believe this incident. Its truth is supported by what took place when Constantine was on the throne, a matter of which the whole world was a witness. For a man of that kind was brought alive to Alexandria, and shewn as a wonderful sight into the people. Afterwards his lifeless body, to prevent its decay through the summer heat, was preserved in salt and brought to Antioch, that the emperor might see it. End quote. Again, with this story, we are faced with an account of truthfulness of which it would be futile to question. The lives of the early saints are full of amazing miracles that should be taken as literary figures rather than as scientific observations. The important point is that basic religious texts contain such material, giving, so to speak, letters of nobility to a category of beings widely believed to be of supernatural origin. Such observations at St. Anthony's will prove fundamental when religious authorities are faced with the problem of evaluating medieval observations of beings from the sky, claims of evocation of demons from occult means, and even modern miracles. The details and the terminology of such observations as St. Anthony's are not important to this study. It is enough to note that in St. Anthony's account, the strange being is indifferently termed as a satyr or a mannequin, while the saint himself states that the Gentiles also use the names faun and incubus. St. Jerome speaks of a man of that kind. Throughout our study of these legends, we shall find that the same confusion in the above-average account. However, it is at least clear to St. Anthony that the creature is neither an angel nor a demon. If it had been, he would have recognized it immediately. Quotation from St. Jerome, The Life of Pallas the First Hermit, translated by W. H. Fremantle, Chapter 8.